Hi, I'm Henry from Van Welch's Garden Center, and welcome to our Perennial of the Week series. Our third theme garden is cutting flowers, and our cutting flower feature for this week is going to be Becky Shasta Daisy. Now, Becky Shasta Daisy is the classic for a cutting garden. It's a great plant, holds up well, blooms a lot, so you're going to get a lot of stems out of this for cutting. And if you do cut the stems, it is another one that will give you some more flowering throughout the season, so you can cut it again. Now, when you go to cut this plant, you want to try to get some of the longest stems that you can possibly get, and that's one of the great features about Becky, is that it does have nice long stems going up to about 3 feet in height. So what you want to do is, on these stems, just go down, and you can cut this pretty far on the plant, and you got some nice smaller stems on that, but you've also got more stems coming off to the side that'll be able to be cut later on in the season. Now, Becky Shasta Daisy, I think, is one of the best Shasta Daisies, because one of the best qualities about this is going to be the fact that it's strong, sturdy stems. There's other Shasta Daisies out there that tend to be a little wiry, tend to be a little floppy. Not Becky. Becky's going to stand straight up for you, and it also has some of the biggest flowers of any of the Shasta Daisies out there. Another great plant for the cutting garden, and it's native as well, this is Heliopolis Summer Nights. And Heliopolis Summer Nights, I really like this plant. I have a couple clumps of it in my garden that I use for cutting in vases at home as well. Another great feature about this is that not only do you get this great kind of rich golden color, you pick up a little bit of red in the center on this flower, but you've also got these really nice purple burgundy stems as well, which I think gives a little extra advantage to the flower, adds a little extra interest to it. This is going to be a little bit of a taller plant, but it does be sturdy and it does hold up well. It's going to grow to about 4 to 5 feet in nature. Another great plant for the cutting garden, and this is both good for fresh cutting and for dried cutting, is this Pomegranate Yarrow. Now, Pomegranate Yarrow is starting to become one of my favorites because I think it's one of the best red yarrows that's on the market right now. I think it's an improvement over paprika, some of the other ones you might be familiar with. It has great color that has wonderful staying power, and if you do cut the flowers on this, they hold up for a long time in the vase, but also too, as a dried flower, the color will stay in the flower head for a long time as a dried flower as well. Now, one of the nice things about yarrow also is that you have this really nice ferny foliage, which kind of gives like a nice kind of delicate texture to a vase full of flowers. But also the ferny foliage helps to cover up the stems a little bit too, so you don't see a lot of stem. You see some nice foliage to it. And this is one that you definitely want to take when you cut it. You definitely want to make sure you cut it all the way back to the base of the plant, because that will encourage new stems to come and rebloom throughout the season. And that's another great advantage to some of these newer yarrows that are on the market now, is the fact that they do have much better reblooming than some of the older varieties out there, and they don't seem to get out of control like some of the older varieties can be. So I would highly recommend this one, and it also just looks great planted next to the Moonshine Yarrow, the red and yellow going together with each other. Another excellent plant to have for your cutting garden that's going to add a lot of great fragrance to your garden is lavender, and this Lavender Grosso is one of the ones you should definitely do. Lavender Grosso is used because it does produce nice long flower stems in the garden that make great for cutting, but also for bundling and for drying lavender as well. It's also got a great oil content if you're into lavender oil, things of that nature also. It's a good hardy variety. Holds up really well in the garden. Just give it good winter drainage. It doesn't like wet feet in the winter, but it's one of the easiest lavenders of any of them to grow. When we're always thinking about cutting gardens, we're always thinking about, flower, flower, flower. But, something else we can do for the cutting garden to think a little bit something different is to use ornamental grasses in your vases and for your cuttings. Now, there's two ways you can use the grasses in your vases when you cut them. You can use the regular foliage, just the grass blades coming up out of the plant, and just simply take and cut the plant off at the base, and now you could strip a couple leaves from the bottom and you could easily stick this into a vase with other flowers. Or when the grasses come into plume, when they get that nice golden bronze and copper colored plumes at the top of them, you can cut those plumes as well and put those plumes into fall arrangements with black-eyed Susans and sedums and other grasses and asters for a great display as well. Another real easy classic for the cutting garden would be Echinacea ruby star. Now, Echinacea ruby star is one of my absolute favorites of all the Echinaceas. Echinacea ruby star, it's got good strong stems, great color, nice big flowers, and it's so easy to grow in the garden. You also get a lot of other benefits off of this than just using it as a cut flower. You can also use this for butterflies, you can use this for honeybees, you can also use this for the goldfinches in the fall if you leave the old flower stems on. The goldfinches will come, they'll eat the seed out of the head, and it's kind of fun to watch them bob back and forth as they're trying to get the seed out. So great, easy, native plant to use for the cutting garden. Thanks again for watching our video on Shasta Becky, which looks great in front of this Pennisetum Carly Rose. I'm Henry from Van Wilgen's Garden Center, and we hope to see you down here soon.